संजोग वियोग दोनों ही हुआ।
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Today we are going to discuss a little bit about what Anand Karaj is and how its formulation as a ceremony and legalization occurred in our history 100 years ago. We are commemorating 100 years of centennial of Anand Marriage Act of 1909. So as soon as we talk about Anand Karaj, the first thing which comes to our mind is there's a ceremony, and within that ceremony there is a Sikh context to it, how within our culture we celebrate this, and also how you and I actually play a role in nation building by following certain customs and rites. So what I want to focus on is what really is Anand Karaj. Anand Karaj, Anand means bliss and Karaj means ceremony. So everyone knows it's a ceremony of bliss, and we sometimes jokingly say the ceremony is done and we have to go discover the bliss ourselves. But what is intended within that ceremony? Well, what is talked about is Guru Granth Sahib very clearly articulates that the married couple are those, not the ones who merely live together, but the ones who become one spirit in two bodies. So this idea of marriage is a sacred union, yes, it is a social contract, yes, but it is much bigger in Sikhi. In Sikhi, marriage is, Anand Karaj is a commitment to the Guru that both husband and wife, both Sikhs, are going to grow together. They will invite divinity into their life, and this is what Anand Karaj is. Now this Anand Karaj, this ceremony was brought out from Guru Nanak onwards. Obviously at the time of Guru Nanak Sahib, the part of Lama didn't exist, so it was different. And as oral tradition maintains, actually at the time of Guru Nanak Sahib, he was asked to go around and follow the customs at the time, and he didn't. He did not go around. He says he does not need a fire to be his witness. And some oral traditions and some other traditions within Sikhi record that he actually drew a Kuankar and then he went around it once, and this was his solemnization. But as there is a growth of responsibility in Sikhi and new institutions are being built, we have the Lava part of Guru Ram Das Sahib, and from that time onwards, Sikhs have been using Lava. And Lava describe our journey of how we need to be ready for change, which is the first idea in the Lava. And the second idea is that we have to invite Guru into our lives. And once we are ready for change, invite Guru into our life. Through Sangat we develop together, and this is how you bring Sahaj into your lives. So that's roughly the idea behind Sikh marriage or Anand Karaj. Now this Karaj gets solidified, and 100 years ago, under the British period, the Anand Marriage Act of 1909 came into existence. So what that means is Sikhs have their own customs. This is a soft way of asserting your sovereignty. For example, when we think of our ceremonies, look at what Anand Karaj has become today. We might say, well, Anand Karaj has become, very few people show up at Anand Karaj, a lot of people show up at receptions. That's true. But why is this happening? Because our ceremonies are getting diluted. Ceremony, we can tell a Sikh wedding from a Hindu wedding to a Christian wedding sometimes. And the idea in Guru Granth Sahib, the higher directive is, the principle is, Jalo aisi reet, jit mein pyara visra. Burn away those customs which take me away from the divine. So the idea was, let's have celebrations. Let's have celebrations of that kind which bring us closer to Vaheguru. Now, why does all this matter, and why are we commemorating the 100 years of Anand Marriage Act? The reason is this. I'll share a personal experience. A few years ago, to be exact, 7 years ago roughly, I decided to get married, and I really wanted to get married at Guru Ka Lahore near Anandpur Sahib. And one of the major reasons I did not get married there was because I looked into the legalities of laws in India and how constitutionally Sikhs are treated within the framework of Indian Constitution. And the idea was, if I were to get married in India, my marriage certificate from India would say, I am a Hindu and I am part of the Hindu Marriage Act. So this bothered me, that why is there a forceful identity being pushed on Sikhs within Indian framework? When Sikhs are born in India, when Sikhs are getting married in India, this identity is being framed on that. Whereas during the British period, this Anand Marriage Act of 1909 established that we are an independent nation. We are sovereign people, we have our own customs. And in independent India, this act was repealed and it was replaced by other marriage acts which do not recognize Sikhs as a separate entity. So the idea is that within last 50 years, we have been struggling from several angles within the Indian constraint, and another angle is that the marriage of Sikhs in India is also not independent. Few communities have been working on this. In Pakistan, Anand marriage got replaced. In America, we don't have that issue. In the Western world, we don't have an issue. So the idea is, within the Indian constraint, we need to understand, we need to get this replaced from the Anand Marriage Act again. So if you are married already, then the refocus needs to occur. How are we bringing ourselves together to divine? How are we inviting Guru into our life? If we are not married and you're looking to get married, then the number one question should be, where do you get married and what values are you looking for in your partner? And the number one value from Sikh angle is the one who will bring you closer to the divine. This is what Anand Karaj is in ceremony, in idea, as well as in practice. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
संजोग वियोग दोनों ही